Well, it finally happened. Aaron Rodgers has been traded. So I do have my phone here to go over the compensation for both teams. And we'll just go over it, talk about it, analyze it, the whole shot. So here's the trade. The Jets are going to receive Aaron Rodgers, the number 15 pick this year. They are also going to get the 170th pick this year, which is a fifth rounder. The Packers are then going to receive the 13th pick, which I think one of my suggestions was to just swap firsts and maybe add like a second or a future second or a third. I think that's what I was talking about in one of my predictions. The Jets are also going to get the the Packers are also going to get the 42nd pick. Now, I don't remember if this is the 42nd pick that they got from Cleveland in the Elijah Moore trade, or if it is their original second rounder. I know they had 42 and 43 after they traded Elijah Moore, so I'm not sure which one this is, but that is a second rounder. The Packers are getting the 207th pick in the draft, which is a sixth round pick. They are also getting a conditional second round pick next year. It can become a first round pick if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of plays. I don't personally like that option because they can go 0-17, but if he played 65%, then it's a first round pick. And at that point, if you had a bad enough record, it doesn't have to be 0-17, but if it's 5-12, you're talking about really a potential top 5 pick. So, I mean, I probably would have tried to get it to be if you make like the playoffs or you make the championship, if you make the Super Bowl, have it be you actually had a successful season to have it be a first round pick. Not just Aaron played 65% and now it's a first round pick and we went 8-9, or we didn't make the playoffs at all. Like that to me, I think probably would have been a better option for the Jets. But yep, so the Jets get Rodgers, a first, and a fifth. The Packers get a first, a second, a sixth, and at least a second, but would probably be a first. Because if they're even in remote contention for the playoffs, they're gonna, it's gonna be a first. Unless they're out of it and they're out of it early, then you pull Aaron. You pull him. And you hope and pray to God that you get as many offensive plays as possible. So that's the trade. Let's talk about it. Also, Aaron Rodgers will go back to his Cal days, and he will be wearing 8. He will not be wearing Joe Namath's number. Even Joe gave him permission. So he will be wearing 8, which I don't know if I said here was a possibility, but I think even last year when people were like, hey, Pittsburgh, go trade for Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, no, don't do that. Like Terry Bradshaw wore 12. So it's like, okay, if Aaron doesn't wear 12, well, what do you wear? And I'm like, well, he could wear 8. He wore it at Cal. So there you go. Now let's actually talk about the trade. So, in my opinion, did the Jets give up a little too much? I think so. Because you're essentially giving up a first and a second. Because let's face it, like I said, if they're even in contention, Aaron's playing. Unless Aaron gets hurt, like you're giving up a first. So you're giving up a first, you're giving up a second, you're moving back 2 spots in the middle of the first round. Let's call it what it is. It's 13 and 15. That's middle-ish. You're outside the top 10. So you're giving up a first, a second, and then you're getting a fifth and you're giving a sixth. So, those are later rounds. They balance out a little bit. So what'd you give up? You gave up a first and a second for Aaron Rodgers. I feel like that's too much. I do. Because people are talking about, oh, just give up the 13th pick this year and you can have Aaron. Like, do you though? I mean, let's say Aaron gets hurt or they're out of contention and he doesn't play 65%. Okay, you gave up 2 seconds, which, I mean, I'd be okay with a second this year and a second next year, just to say, okay, now we can have Aaron. That I think I'm okay with, but unless you win the damn Super Bowl, I wouldn't. Or you got to make the playoffs in order to give up a first next year. Just to me, you got to make the playoffs. Now, I mean, who knows? Maybe they do make the playoffs, and it's the first rounders, the 25th pick in the draft, let's say. And it's like, okay, then that was kind of worth it. It's just, it's tough for me. Like, did the Jets overpay? Possibly, yes. But Aaron Rodgers is pretty much the best quarterback they've ever had. Like, let's put it how it is. Like, he pretty much is the best quarterback they have ever had. And it's been over 50 years since they've gone to a Super Bowl. And that Super Bowl they won. I believe it was in 69, if I'm correct. So 50 years. It's a long time. So, it's just, you're desperate at that point. I understand you're desperate. Also, you haven't been to the playoffs in like 12 years either. And you're also going to have to compete with, Buffalo, who has Josh Allen. They're still a good team. Miami with Tua is still a good team. They still have Tyreek. They have Bradley Chubb. They have Jalen Waddle. Now, they did lose Gesicki in free agency, and they traded away a tight end as part of the trade for... who was it? They traded for a guy, Jalen Ramsey. It was part of the Jalen Ramsey trade. So they're probably going to be looking at a tight end in the draft. And they don't have a first rounder. They would, because the whole Tom Brady thing. So I don't think they'll be picking until the second round. But even then, this is a pretty heavy tight end draft. If your team needs a tight end, go get one. So it's with the Miami where they are, Buffalo where they are. Yeah, New England's not great right now. And, they're debating on whether Mac Jones is the guy. Hell, they're debating whether Bailey Zappi should start next season. So, I guess at worst, unless Aaron has truly hit rock bottom, what are you looking at? Third, probably. Unless, like I said, unless Aaron just has fallen off the cliff, or heck, maybe, just maybe, New England is good again, now that they actually have a real offensive coordinator. So that's the Jets side. Packers side. Jordan, it's your time now. You have sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. Year 4. And then you have a 5th-year option, which I don't know if the Packers have picked up or not. Which they're running out of time to do it, if they have not. I think it has to be done next month, May. So you have, let's just say they pick up the 5th year. You have year 4, year 5 to go prove yourself for a long-term deal. If you don't prove yourself, Packers, you're looking for a quarterback. You'll probably get beaten pretty bad by Detroit, who has 2 firsts. The Vikings, who knows what's going on with them. They have massive needs on defense, especially corner. Kirk Cousins, I think he's not under contract for 2024, so they're going to need a quarterback. And then Chicago, they got a haul for the first overall pick from Carolina. So with any offensive linemen, any defensive guys, any offensive guys besides, the O-line, if they decide they want another receiver to go with Moore, Mooney, and Claypool, which Claypool, they might be looking for a wide receiver to replace him. Which at 9 you can get the best guy in the draft, Jackson Smith and Jigba. You can. And heck, Justin played with him at Ohio State, so at least I'm pretty sure they overlapped for at least one season. So we'll see. The Packers with Love could do really, really well if he's truly the guy. And at that point, think about it. If Jordan Love is the guy, they literally went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. That would potentially be the greatest back-to-back-to-back quarterbacks for a franchise in NFL history. Like, if Jordan Love can play, and they went from Hall of Famer to good, great Hall of Famer, who the hell knows? But I would have to give it to the Packers. I would. So, or Jordan can't play, and you're going to be drafting Caleb Williams in the first round next year. We'll see. As far as the Jets go, coming back over to them for a hot second, maybe you compete, and maybe Aaron has fallen off the cliff at 39 years old. Because that's how old he is. He is 39 years old. So, we'll see. And who knows, he may not even play in 2024. 2023 might be it. We don't know, is the only problem. So, that's it. That is all I got for talking about this Aaron Rodgers trade. It's finally done. It's over. We don't have to talk about it anymore. The only way we got to talk about it is if the Jets or Packers do really, really, really well or really, really bad. That is it. Also, this isn't really about the trade itself, but it's something funny. I have a coworker who's a Packers fan. He's my old boss, but then he accepted a promotion to be the sales rep. So he gives out quotes to clients and does all that. So I see him every once in a while. And this morning, and I'm recording this on April 24th, I said to another coworker, because I'd kind of been talking about this for maybe like 2 weeks, about how one time when he comes through, I want to lie and tell him Aaron Rodgers got traded. So this morning, I tell my one coworker, I got a feeling today's the day. Today is the day I'm going to lie. I'm going to mess with him. I'm going to tell my coworker, my old boss, that Aaron Rodgers got traded. So I wait, and eventually I see him. He comes walking through. And I say, hey, did you see Aaron Rodgers got traded? And he said, he saw that talks are speeding up. I'm like, no. Like, he got traded. And he was not buying it. So I look over at my one coworker and said, yeah, he's not buying it. So we let it go. That was the morning. Few hours later in the afternoon, news hits. Aaron Rodgers got traded. Like, I don't know what feeling I got where I'm like, you know what? Today's the day. Let's do it. Today's the day. Because if I had not done it this morning, or at least, well, I guess even attempted to do it this morning, my opportunity is gone. Because at that point, Aaron Rodgers is actually traded. So when I go into work tomorrow, I'm just going to tell him, you're welcome. You're welcome, because I clearly made the trade happen. So that is it. That is all I got for this video, even that fun little story for you guys. If you did enjoy that video, please leave a like. If you enjoyed the story, even if it's just the story, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button for me. Turn notifications on. Whether you're new or not, turn notifications on. I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks for watching.